So I wanted to ask you about the socially responsible
Mm,
investment index that
mm,
you designed. It kind of speaks for itself in terms of
yeah.
its name, but tell me a little bit about
Mm,
how you got to that direction, how
mm,
you implemented it, and its
mm.
reception.
That in itself was one of these things where, we learned a lot at that time. And I think the JSE is still regarded as a bit of a thought leader amongst global exchanges for the work that we did there. So it was the time of the Earth Summit in South Africa. And one of our stakeholders came to me and said, Nikki, there's a lot that's happening in the country that organizations are doing and claiming are good. Whether that's how they rehabilitate the land if they're mining companies, or whether that's their CSI work, etc. There's space here to do something that highlights the good that has been done and incentivizes companies that want to do the right thing to see where the bar is so that they know what they should be doing. So to start to frame the dialogue. And so it was a huge, it took a huge amount of work to do over years, because the dialogue starts from, so what is socially responsible behavior? Is it the philanthropic work you do? Or is that part, and is it enough? Is it about how you behave as on your social license to operate? Well, what if you're a mining company and you, by definition, are destroying resources? Does that mean you can't be socially responsible when it's legal to be a mining company? Okay, but what if you're a bank and you lend money to a mining company? How do we think about that? We had to go through all of these discussions. I mean, a really interesting intellectual discussions. And then we discovered at the time that it was essentially us and the London Stock Exchange through FTSE, their index provider, who were already the thought leaders. Then Dow Jones came along. And that started the discussion in this country. And we learned, and essentially you start and you sort of say, okay, we're going to set the bar here initially, just to figure out, like, what's the data telling us? What are people doing? What you discover is that the really big polluters, because their legal licenses require them to have take remedial action, etc., have quite evolved understanding of their responsibility environmentally, quite an involved understanding of their responsibility to employees and the communities around the mines, perhaps less evolved responsibility with regard to the broader communities, etc. But entities like, typically at that time, you're talking 2 decades ago, like financial services companies, like, what do I got to do here? I've got my chairman's fund. We put a bit inside for charity. And so actually it's helping people on a journey. And today, I mean, it's an amazing thing actually to see the nature of the discussion around ESG and how mainstream it is. So to watch the discussions around, okay, well, hold on, now we're about greenwashing, and we're trying to figure out that when somebody says they're doing something, are they really doing? What does it really mean? And I think one's got to be a little bit. It taught me at the time not to be caught up in the excitement of a theme, but to actually look behind the noise to the data and what's it showing you, and to treat it as a journey rather than a snapshot. But that journey is becoming an asset class, and that's a very interesting thing.